creator on Kick, and all this good stuff. And you like, she's suing Mizkif, Maya Higa, and it was OTK, but they got the fuck out of there. Now here's the thing, right? I'm gonna prove to you how it's gonna go for her. And when I prove it to you, just keep it in stride. All right. Let me start the beginning of the clip. So this is where we're at with the lawsuit. We're going to be looking at her second amended petition and her second amended response for the motion to dismiss. It's like an all-in-one thing. Okay. Long story short, this shit's 125 pages. Most of it you guys have seen before. Okay. Yeah. City girls are down bad.
City girls are down. City girls down. Wee-woo. Down bad.
And if you need a visual reference, this is Adrinah Lee suing Maya Higa, Mizkif, and all that. So here's what it says, right? Whew. This is her second amended response to, remember when Mizkif, I did a video on it and he kicked her goddamn back in. Her lawyer was like, she's past the statute of limitations for defamation, which is kind of like checkmate, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But, and crazy enough, right? She didn't even address that in here. I'm like, how did you not address the goddamn statute of limitations? It's just like, I'm just gonna, and I was like reading, and I'm like, are you gonna address that? She like,
nope.
No. I was like, well, what are you doing? What are you going to address? All right, you gonna see what she addressed. And I'm like, you about to fucking lose. And I'm gonna prove to you how she's gonna lose once we get to her proof. Now, we only got to read the first 20 pages, and I'm gonna zip through it because most of this stuff is kind of like stuff we already kind of know, right? Okay, so, plaintiff sued defendants on claims for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, torturous interference with business, relationships, fraud, and exemplary damages. Well, the torturous interference with business and fraud, that shit's gone. Only thing left is defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. That's the only thing left. And OTK is off the lawsuit, okay? The claims regarding torturous interference with the business relations and fraud have been dismissed, as have all claims against OTK. And you like, this is the key to how Mizkif is going to get this shit dismissed. OTK got out, and they won on the Rule 91, no basis in law. Now, the TCPA is freedom of speech, okay? Fundamentally, plaintiff, Adrinah, alleges that, Mizkif and the gang utilized their online presence to cause harm and bring disrepute upon her. All defendants have appeared, which they have, We know the factual background. Like this, I don't even know how she filed this. This shit's a waste of time, if you ask me. But I'm not a lawyer, okay? So just because I give you my opinion, that does not mean you run with it. The reason why I post the entire court documents is for everyone to see it. You could watch the stream on mute, and then you could just see all the court documents yourself. But let's go through it. This case ultimately arises from events that occurred on January 19th. Now look, she's getting a little bit more graphic, saying Crazy Slick SA'd her. SA'd. So now we're full-blown SA, and he's known as Crazy Slick. Plaintiff, Rodriguez and other named parties to the lawsuit, all streamers, individuals who engage in activities such as playing video games, that are online entertainment. We all know this stuff, right? Streamers are supported by, subs, sponsorship, views on YouTube, Twitch, all that. Prior to the given events, rise to above reference case and call, support herself wholly through her career. And as an online streamer, which I think she's doing right now. So she's still doing it right now. Frequently, different streamers will collaborate with others to, enhance their audience exposure, making it an important aspect of networking within the streaming business. Bro, if you in Texas, if you on the outs with OTK, move, move, or you'll end up like Adrinah Lee and Novaru, just outcasts, not invited to the cloud parties. The streaming community in Austin is a smaller community of people who are well known to each other, which I just said. You know what I want to try? I want to try turning this off. There we go. Because it's like shining on my face. And now we look better. We look crispier. My face ain't red. Although deeply distributed through the incident occurred, plaintiff chose not to publicize how, she was victimized or confront guilty party, concerned as to what impact it would have upon her personally and professionally. However, she did tell a friend about what happened. Now, here's the thing, right? How did she tell a friend about what happened? Because she don't even remember what happened. If you remember, she was told what happened. Approximately 18 months later, that same friend, Novaru Online, disclosed what happened to plaintiff without plaintiff's knowledge or consent during her online streaming program. Now, this is murky, and I don't want to say lie. But I'm not sure if this order of operations is accurate. I'll just say that. I'm not sure Adrinah Lee told Novaru first. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I done read this shit a million times. I'm like, plaintiff began to receive multiple telephone calls shortly thereafter as other streamers realized who was being discussed. Come on, man. Like, y'all, the people who've been in the Twitch community longer than I've been streaming, you guys know the order of operations. Someone told Novaru, then Novaru told Adrinah? Or was it that someone told Adrinah, then Adrinah told Novaru, and then Novaru told the world, and then Adrinah came forward? It's really some conflicting stories. And to be honest, it really doesn't matter because she was touched or whatever. The whole thing comes down to, was she defamed? That's the whole crux. No one's arguing was she touched. They're arguing was she defamed. And you guys, I showed you the two sentences, but that's the crux. Was she defamed? Now, while plaintiff contemplated what to do about the situation, she was confronted by Maya Higa and several others. Higa, who was not a personal friend or close acquaintance of her, purported to want to help her with her response to the issue, but instead made misrepresentations to plaintiff and attempted to direct and control the written statement that would be issued. Now, I would say probably one of the differences, if there's any, it's less room for interpretation. Like, she's like, hey, she came to direct and control the written statement, as opposed to see what was going on or whatever she previously wrote. Plaintiff does not believe it is a coincidence that, Crazy Slick, Higa, and Higa's boyfriend at the time, Mizkif, were all roommates, nor that afterwards statements were issued by Mizkif that the fact that had the effect of harming plaintiff's career and standing, as well as seeking to diminish what happened to her. Like, Adrinah. Now, he's trying to get out of here on this TCPA. He's arguing, one, she's a public figure, and two, it's freedom of speech. Her argument for this shit is just like, drives me crazy. It does. I'm just like, is this what we on? How much did you pay for this? Like, I'm not convinced. But, it's just me. All right. As part of the defendant's motion to dismiss under the TCPA, which is freedom of speech, talking about a public figure, a number of exhibits have been attached to their motions by defendants, many of which are subject to objection. More particularly, right? Gosh, we're back at this. Ms. Kiff's entity's declaration of Adam M. Fitzgerald and attachments. Adam is the lawyer, okay? So everything that he was submitting was to establish, one, that she was a public figure, two, that this was a public concern, and three, she benefited from it, okay? That's what he submitted. Now, it's so vast. Like, she submitted 125 pages, Miz submitted like 150, and we'll see. I'll show you what they submitted when we get to it. Okay. Requirements for an unsworn declaration under Texas law, which requires generally that the first and last name be provided, as well as the date of birth and a residential address. Now, his date of birth and residential address was blocked out. So because it didn't have these two items, she's saying disregard everything he submitted that proves that I'm a public figure or I benefited from talking about this. I'm not lying. This is her argument. I'm serious. Watch it on mute. Read it for yourself. The Texas Supreme Court previously held that, a purported unsworn declaration lacking a date of birth cannot be accepted in lieu of an affidavit. This declaration, which appears to contain redactions, yep, see, I told you redactions, where any address and any date of birth would be listed, does not have necessary information to be in compliance with the state authorizing the use of unsworn declarations in Texas, or relevant case law, and as such should be struck with all attachments. Who else submitted something with this same format that got their case thrown out? Okay. So if it was good enough for OTK to get it tossed out, and maybe it wasn't the attachments that did it, but here we are. Okay. Even if Adam Fitzgerald declaration is not struck, okay, strike attachment 9 as containing impermissible hearsay. The attachment purporting on its face to be from twitchtracker.com displays what appears to be considered statistical data without any identification as the source, authenticity, or trustworthiness of such information. The information within the document is thus impermissible hearsay, and since its source cannot be identified, would constitute hearsay within hearsay. Additionally, the last page of the document recites that Twitch Tracker is not affiliated with Twitch or Amazon, thereby calling into question the accuracy of any data that it will purport to derive from Twitch itself. Attachment 9 and any reference therefore should be struck. Now, the only reason they put in Twitch Tracker data is to show that she benefited from talking about this. All right. And basically, she's about to go through and try to take out every piece of information that Mizkif's lawyer submitted to prove that she's a public figure and or benefited from talking about the situation financially. I'm just a messenger. You guys have to interpret the message. So she's saying, hey, similarly, attachments 10 and 11 should be struck on the basis of total irrelevancy. Both attachments purporting on their face to be from throne.com, which is like her wish list. Appears to be a wish list for items available for potential purchase, including items of personal property and lingerie. I'm saying she had like tails that were like butt plugs. It's crazy. It's not clear why such exhibit would be attached, as it appears to have no relevancy whatsoever to the litigation or any claims or defenses pending hearing, and thus appear to be wholly irrelevant. The reason why they put that in is to show that, she's a public figure. I don't know why, like, if I'm her, I don't know why I would try to argue that I'm not a public figure. That is like idiotic. You've been streaming for 4 years and you're going to say I'm not a public figure, you're going to be like, yo, Henry, are you okay? Yeah, I'm not a public figure though, am I, guys? You can be like, bruh. You'd be looking at me like I'm crazy. I know you would be. 10-13 should be struck, as any reference to them include numbered paragraphs 13 and 14 in the Adam Fitzgerald Declaration, because both exhibits purport to be screenshots and videos online which have not been brought into evidence and not otherwise appear in the four corners of defendant's motions. The videos themselves would constitute hearsay and literal out of context made by a third party, not before the court, but anything contained in the videos would also not be in compliance with the requirements of the Texas rules or procedures, remedies, and any evidence, document, testimony, videos that might show objectionable, because nothing in the Fitzgerald Declaration or otherwise is in the motion establishes a declarant who has a personal familiarity with the content of the videos and what may be stated in the videos, truth or acts are therefore of. I may have to go back and look at these, but the skinny of it is when they say the four corners, if you say Henry is a YouTuber, right? And then you put in a video of me being on YouTube, you're like, oh, you see how it's in the four corners? I would have to look at attachments 12 and 13 and 14, which I have. Attachment 18 should be struck, should be any reference including number paragraph 19, because the exhibit purports on its face to be a screenshot of a video which is available online, but which has not been brought into evidence. So basically she's trying to strike any and everything that Mizkif put forward, and all it does is goes to prove that she's a public figure, guys. Do you think she's a public figure? Yes or no? That's all it is. Struck, same thing. Now here's a good one, right? Now this shit's so funny because when you see it, you're gonna be like, oh, Henry, you good boy. All right. Attachment 20, right? Should be struck as should any reference to it being wholly irrelevant. The attachment purporting on his face to be a news article from sportskita.com does not contain any reference to any party or witness identified in this litigation or appear to discuss any alleged in this litigation. Notably, it's also never cited by defendant. So if you put that she's a public figure and if you're trying to prove she's a public figure and you cite, I believe they used this article to say that what happened to her was of public concern. It was picked up by Sportskita. Okay. But they say it happened of public concern and then they link it. All right. She's saying, no, get that shit out of here. The ironic thing is she submits a fucking Sportskita fucking article. I kid you not. I'm like, I was just like, oh, I'm reading this. And then I scroll down to her evidence, which we've already seen before. I'm like, anywho. I don't want to like rage out on this shit. I don't want to. Attachment 22 should be struck should any reference to it because the exhibit purports on his face to be a screenshot of a video. She's just trying to, excuse me. She is trying to throw out anything. And this shit's wild. Now, look, we'll keep going. And then I'm going to show you the Sportskita shit that she used. Like, he can't use Sportskita because it doesn't refer, but I can use Sportskita. It's hypocritical. And look, just give me some time. We'll get to it. I promise you. Just remember, Sportskita article, bad for Mizkif, good for her. More arguments under the motion to dismiss. In order to defend the constitutional rights of persons to petition, speak freely, associate freely, and otherwise participate in governments to maximum extent permitted by law, and at the same time protect the rights of a person to file meritless lawsuits for demonstrable injury. Okay, to this end, the Act authorizes a motion to dismiss if legal action is based on, relates to, or in response to a party's exercise of the right to free speech, right to petition, or right to association. The Act specifically defines exercise the right of association to mean to join together and collectively express, promote, pursue, or defend common interests relating to a government proceeding or a matter of public concern. Now, here's the thing. This matter of public concern, this is the argument that Mizkif is making. Hey, it was a matter of public concern. Why was it a matter of public concern? Because Sportskita picked it up. Every YouTuber was talking about it. It may not have been a matter of public concern to like the entire world, but Mizkif's lawyer made it a point to say it was a matter of public concern to the Twitch community, okay? Which we know is a community in itself. Like, no one cares about XQC's divorce outside of the people on Twitch or in the people covering Twitch. No one cares. In the real world, people are like, who the fuck is XQC? You see how it works? Like, hey, he was just accused of SA. They like, bruh, who you think Dallas gonna make to the playoffs? They know Dallas. Anyway, a matter of public concern, and it turns a statement or activity regarding, a public official, public figure, public figure, or a person who has drawn substantial public attention due to a person's official acts, fame, monetary, or celebrity. We don't care about political, social, and other interest community. A matter of political, social, or other interest to the community, or a subject of concern to the public. Communication has been defined as, she goes, oh man, my shit's freezing up. Is it freezing up? No, like, as making or substantiating a statement or document of any form of media, including oral, visual, written, or electronic. She's trying to basically take away the TCPA from him. And I really don't want to like belabor this shit because it's just like so like broad. To prevail under the TCPA, the movement must demonstrate that the legal action is based on or in response to a party's exercise of a right to free speech, which he is saying right to free speech. He was not petitioning or right to association. So he's arguing free speech and that she's a public fucking figure. I just don't want to go through all that. It's just so much legal ease in there. And like applicability of the TCPA, does it apply? So, plaintiff affirms her undertaking that her suit is a legal action as defined within the TCPA. Dismissal under TCPA is appropriate on a legal action if the moving party demonstrates the right to free speech, which he's saying free speech. So an initial inquiry are any of plaintiff's claims as pled based on or in response to the one enumerated rights above. Free speech! Free speech! The fuck? The right to free speech is defined as communication in connection with a matter of public concern. So I know this shit is, if it's driving me crazy and I don't want to cover it anymore, it has to be driving you guys crazy. So she goes on to say, hey, this is what the definition of public concern is. Was it a matter of public concern? Mizkif answered, it was a public concern to the Twitch community, which consists of millions of people. I'm just scrolling through because it's just such bullshit, right? You like yapping. This is yapping 5,000. This is yap. I'm not a public figure. It's not a public concern. And these are things probably her lawyer has to say. But this is 100% public concern. Why am I even covering it? Because it's a matter of public concern. You guys have been on it. Sportskeeda has picked it up. Dexerto has picked it up. Pretty much everyone who covered Twitch knows about this lawsuit. Now, they may not be as invested as me, but they know about it. I mean, she's citing some fucking court case. Garcia v. Selmer to state generally that criminal acts are a matter of public concern. However, the case law discussing that point is focused on communications reporting the criminal act rather than communications made in response to those reports. So, for example, statements regarding assaults, news broadcasts involving robbery and arrest, accusations of animal abuse, and prosecutions of criminal activity were all matters of public concern. Like, this is Mizkif's argument, okay? And she's trying to tear it down. Fundamentally, the communications at issue is the matter to relate to several distinct items. The disclosure of online volatile act committed by Jacob Rodriguez, plaintiff, for which no defamation claim has been alleged against movement defendants, which, clearly does relate to communications regarding wrongful act, albeit one for which plaintiff is not aware of any criminal prosecution occurring. So she's not going out after him he's not being prosecuted for dealing her. Communications made after and in response to the aforesaid disclosure, which had an effect of shaming and misleading the plaintiff. Like, come on, shaming? Relevantly, the second category addresses the false and misleading statements made by Maya Higa to plaintiff. Like, Maya Higa, she shouldn't even be in this shit because she didn't make the defamatory statement. The false statement including plaintiff's sexual misconduct. These statements are by their nature attenuated from underlying statement that disclose criminal allegations. Stated another way, when a victim's status is disclosed, are statements afterwards attacking and attempting to diminish her themselves a matter of public concern. Now she's pleading on the heartstrings. Do you guys see this shit? You see it? Hey, I was assaulted and attempted to diminish themselves a matter of public concern, ? Plaintiff has not identified any case so holding. Like, oh man. I mean, I hope you guys are seeing it. You seeing it as it's written. I just don't want to read more of this shit. I'm being honest. All right, now look, she fucking conceded. Like, look at this shit right here. Now look, I know this ain't Adrinah personally writing this shit, but plaintiff concedes that the controversies at issue are or were being discussed by people. The fundamental problem with trying to hold plaintiff to be a limited purpose public figure is one of impact. However, that requirement, the people beyond the immediate participants will be impacted by the controversy, which everyone's impacted. Even I'm impacted by it. In Lane, the issue arose whether a public singer and university professor was a public figure. Who the fuck cares? I mean, court held that she was in part because the issue affected more than just Lane. She's citing some court case because it dealt with the professor's fitness for performance of her role as a teacher, which affects any potential or current UNT voice student. In short, although the professor was a public performer, the impact the court focused upon was students who might be directly and substantially impacted. This shit is way different. This shit's such a smaller scale. Like, you comparing what happened to you to something that happened at a school, which probably got one news cycle and done. Okay, man. I mean, like, so you kind of rolling on OTK side regard. I'm team fucking Mizkif. What the fuck? This shit's not making sense. It's not. It's just not making sense. I hate to say it. It's just not fucking making sense. You're a public figure when it's convenient. You're not a public figure during the lawsuit. It's kind of pissing me off a little bit. I'll be honest. Because I'm up here reading this shit like... I mean, she's a public fucking figure. I'm not reading any more of this public figure. I'm not a public figure stuff. I'm just not. But you can pause it. You can scroll through. We get it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. I'm not waffling. Her fucking lawyer is waffling. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like, ain't it funny how people tried to tell you months ago? Tell me what? Be more specific, Team Moss. What did they try to tell me months ago? Now, they told me I was wrong for taking her side. I'll admit that. Adrinah, the best chances. No, I'm not even clicking on that leafy bell. What did they try to tell me months ago? I mean, the Mizkifs were on my ass from day one, but I didn't care. Like, I was upset that he tried to get me not to cover it. Now he's fucking winning, and he's like crickets. Like, fucking. Anyway, the evidence must be at least minimum quantum of evidence. Like, oh, gosh. Plaintiff has arised 2 cases of action challenged by defendants that are still active at the time of the following: the defamation and intentional emotional distress. Like, look, Team Moss, what you didn't follow up? Did you leave? Like, what's going on? You typing? Don't be scared now. So defamation. All right, defamation. Like, come on. She does actually nail him to the wall. I think I highlighted something in regards to this defamation. Depends on whether a person originally or telling. Oh my god. This guy. Go look at your old stuff, bro. Compare your attitude towards Ms. OTK and etc. now. I mean, I still think the content is not for me. My attitude towards Ms. like, he's winning the lawsuit. Am I about to go fucking sub to his channel?
Nope.
Am I about to go watch him? No. Am I like watching OTK? No. The only person I watch from OTK is I can't even fucking think. Asman. A new Starforge, but look, I was about to buy a Starforge, but I just couldn't. I couldn't. The price and everything was like comparable. I was like, I will not. All right, so here's the defamatory statement, guys. Is this defamation? Yes or no? I don't mean the content. My attitude, like, Miz was like, don't cover it. Like, bruh, look, if you have a reputation for covering up shit and me just getting, like, starting to stream and shit, and your first message to me is to not cover some shit, I'm looking at you like, bro, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And then to have your fucking mods in my chat talking shit. Come on, man. What the fuck? They probably still over here. They probably like, Henry Flip, man. He supports you. No, I support you in the fucking lawsuit. I want you to do well. I don't want nothing bad to happen to Miz. I want them to do well in life. Like, but I want everyone to do well in life. So it's like, I don't want nothing bad to happen to anybody. I don't even want nothing bad to happen to Adrinah Lee, but this lawsuit is making her look sketchy as fuck. Or maybe her lawyer's looking sketchy. Maybe she's unaware. I don't know. And I'm just like fucking rambling. I hate when I'm rambling because then when I go to cut the video, I'm like, why was he just talking for like a half an hour? I don't see how this defames her. Look, man, you got me, Bo. Here's the defamatory statement. 90% of people, look, I don't think there's a single person we used to hang out with that doesn't hang out with Slick anymore because of what happened. I actually think that there's literally none. Because the reality is, worst comes to worst of it, it's effing like sexual harassment. Well, she's saying assault. I mean, like, who gives a fuck? No, like, no one. Of what you think can deem of it is sexual harassment. Whatever. At a low scale, it's not really a big deal. I don't think people really gave a shit or really cared. When people like think of it, they think he effing stuck his Johnson inside her without her consent. And I'm like, that's what people perceive it as. Like, I don't know, man. It's like, no, that's not what people perceive it as. But, you know, she could potentially perceive it as that way. That, you know, she was violated. I mean, I agree with her. She was 100% violated. But was she defamed? That's the tricky part. And here it go right here, right? And I highlighted some stuff to show you. And this is what I said from day one, which is, you know, shout out to the people like, remember what you said on day one, I'm like, yeah, and I still stand by that shit right here. But when you see, you'll see. All right, the second statement. The only time I ever did not want to hang out with Adrinah was when we went to 6th Street and she was groping Sear. And it was very effing weird and we stopped hanging out with her and that's it. Now this was during that fucking phone call in which David, Mitch Jones, Asmongold, Trainwreck, XQC, and Barry were on. It appears to accuse the plaintiff of an illegal act, which I said, hey, was she convicted of molestation or whatever? Y'all were like, no, but it was a text message. Well, that text message is in here. In particular, an accusation of groping could be constructed as indicating indecent assault, the non-consensual touching of genital or a private area, or physical assault. Now, the first statement originally produced as an oral statement to an entire online audience falsely alleged the wrongdoing of Jacob Rodriguez and was the impact that the status of the victim did not matter and carried with implicit falsity that no significant harm was done. It shows its falsity on its face and clearly expressed the intent to denigrate plaintiff and what she experienced. Look, they didn't even fucking capitalize this. This is how I'm getting pissed. I'm over here noticing grammar. Like, why is it not capitalized? It functions to set up false dichotomy between different forms of assault, all of which are terrible, and through hyperbole cast plaintiff experience in a false light. Crickets, right? I don't even got my cricket soundbite anymore. I didn't replaced it. Oh man, this statement was later reproduced and republished by 2 news articles on Sportskeeda, which she uses as her goddamn evidence. But you see how she did it though? Whereas he said it was Mizkif probably said, I don't know specifically what Mizkif said, but he said something like, oh, this was a matter of public concern. And the reason why it was a matter of public concern is because news publications picked it up. Where she is saying, hey, and it was picked up online by Sportskeeda C73. Is that page 73? Hold on, we're on page 18. Let me check something real quick. 73? Give me a second. Oh no, not my shit not working. Oh, it froze up on me. You know why? Because this goddamn thing is like 125 pages. It's like over 100 megabytes. All right, so here we go. We're back at it. We are back at it. I mean, people were jumping on the hate train. Look, dog, it's so easy to get on that Miz hate train. It really is. It's like so easy. The shit's always running. It's running 24/7 nonstop. But shout out to Miz. Maybe I'll get a Miz interview after this. Never. I mean, if he open to it, hell yeah, I'll do it. You know. Anyway, I know it's not happening. Okay, so this is like more nonsensical shit. The next inquiry, requisite degree of fault, the actual malice or negligence. Although plaintiff does not believe she qualifies as a general or limited public purpose figure. Oh my God. This has to be just for the goddamn lawsuit. You kid. Like, here's the thing with Adrinah. Go to Twitter at Celebrity Birthday, and I believe she's on it. And it's just reserved for celebrities, right? Oh, man. Maybe I'll get an Adriana Lee, whatchamacallit. Nevertheless, the actual malice has been met. Actual malice has been defined as publishing a statement with knowledge of reckless disregard for its falsity. While reckless disregard has been defined, goddamn, or mean than more negligence, but instead requiring a high degree of awareness of the probably falsity. Multiple statements made by Mizkif and Higa indicate that Mizkif had a high degree of awareness of the seriousness of what happened to the plaintiff and implicitly understood the grave falsity, mischaracterization of his statements. His first statement was made after literally from his own admission sending his girlfriend and co-defendant over to confront plaintiff in a panic. And his second statement was made in a conversation as part of a defense of his actions. Even looking beyond the actual malice started, damn, she's saying malice, the context within which Mizkif made his statements and thereby associated those statements with Mizkif Enterprises LLC and OTK makes clear that he at least acted with a negligent disregard. Okay. Here, like, negligent disregard and malice are two fucking different things. Like, negligent, like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't mean to hurt you. Malice is like, no, bitch, I'm out to destroy you. You see how it works? Oh, Adriana. Maybe it's just our lawyer. All right, we saw the whole, both statements of facts and opinion. We saw all this, guys. Someone said, what does that mean? What do you mean? What does that mean? The one, that one I'll give you. Okay, cool. Look, Team Moss is, maybe he's on the Henry train. Okay, it was negligent. All right, look, we got a Miz kid up in the building. Put the goddamn frogs in. Put the Miz emotes in. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We know about this facts and all this other crap. It was effing weird. Plaintiff was damaged, therefore has pled the nature of theory of her damages in paragraph 38. Paragraph 38. No, I'm not going back. I'm sorry, Adriana. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. I think we're actually close to being done. I'm on the side of truth. Okay, we all on the side of truth. Yeah, she definitely went to a lawyer who was not specialized in defamation. Now, I didn't want to bring this up, but I think her lawyer is like a DUI specialist. So it's like probably, I'll take the case on a consignment basis, but any damages, your ass is going to be liable. So like them OTK lawyer fees, like you want to look for that shit, sis. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Is this, this shit wasn't extreme and outrageous. Okay, let's just give her her read. As previously noted, defendants disingenuously argue that a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress is barred because plaintiff has the right to recover emotional damage under an alternate tort such as claim of assault, which she can. She's saying it's disingenuous. This argument ignores that any claim plaintiff had for sexual assault is no longer available at the time bar, as well as ignoring that proximate cause for plaintiff's present emotional distress is the conduct and actions of defendants that have expressed her public commentary, condemnation, and disdain. The Texas Supreme Court addressed a similar issue looking at the intentional infliction of emotional distress in the context of any underlying allegation of sexual harassment when it held that failure to establish his or her claim for sexual harassment does not mean that the plaintiff has a claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress, but rather that if a gravamen of a plaintiff complaint is the type of wrong that the statutory remedy was meant to cover, a plaintiff cannot maintain an intentional inflictional claim regardless of whether he or she succeeds or makes a statutory claim. So in short, she's saying she can still have emotional distress even if she don't go for the assault. When first assaulted, plaintiff chose to remain silent, as so over time, the immoral have elected in order to avoid very consequences of the event. Okay, so she didn't say anything, so she wouldn't have to experience the emotional distress. However, this is distinct from the events on which plaintiff now sues. The actual events that have a proximate cause of plaintiff's emotional damages were the conduct of the defendant set forth in Exhibit A and in her second amended petition. I'm sorry, Adriana. She feels harmed. She's suffered. Higg imposed herself on plaintiff at an emotionally vulnerable time in order to induce plaintiff to act in a way which was intended to denigrate plaintiff's own status. Mizkif, individually and indistinguishably from the status of representation of Mizkif's Enterprise and OTK, followed this event by belittling plaintiff's experience and implicitly plaintiff herself, which he did, guys. Come on, we can all agree that he did downplay this shit. You can say he belittled her privately, but I mean, this is like really hurt feelings. I really do feel bad for Adriana Lee, but she probably should have went after whatchamacallit. She should have went after Crazy Slick, but she went for the money and it's not working out for her. Defendant acts as representation and conduct of Higg's public statements made by Mizkif and his personal representative capabilities, and the conclusion thereby with Rodriguez illustrate either an intent to diminish and denigrate plaintiff or a reckless disregard of the plaintiff's impact those acts would have upon her. Reasonable people do not talk about sexual misconduct, and if It means nothing or a joke about covering it up. Although rude behavior alone is not extreme and outrageous, sexual harassment is. The defendants were fully aware of plaintiff's susceptibility to emotional... Whoa. Now she's saying they could fucking read minds. Did you catch it? Y'all didn't catch it. Y'all probably like, yo, he yapping. Here we go right here. Like, when I get upset, I start paying really close attention, guys. Like, I'd be like, because I'm so annoyed that I'm reading it, then my brain just like find the fault. Defendants were factually aware of Adrinah Lee's susceptibility to emotional distress as a result of what happened to her. How would they know? How would they know that she was susceptible to emotional distress? How we know she not like a tank? How do you know? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is mind reading shit right here. The only reason I call it because I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed. How like we can read minds? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to attack her, but I'm attacking her lawyer's shit. Her as a person, I think she's great. She's cool. But this lawsuit, very risky. Very risky. There are no circumstances in which someone's suffering would not be made worse when it is denigrated and an effort is made to diminish the true impact of the harm. And indeed, the evidence is uncontroverted that emotional harm was caused. The evidence? Slick a weirdo. I'm glad he's gone. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are glad. Defenses as a matter of law, haven't made... She's saying she proved her case. Haven't made a law showing a clear specific evidence on each element of his claims that were raised in defendant's motions 91, the burden shifts to the defendants to establish an affirmative defense or other grounds on which moving party is entitled to a judgment as a matter of law. However, although defendants have filed affirmative defenses in this matter, no argument or evidence identified as being supportive of those affirmative defenses has been adduced to their motions. As the statute recites, it's determining whether a legal action is subject to or should be dismissed. The court should consider the pleadings. Evidence court could consider a rule, whatever, and supporting opposition affidavit stating the facts on which the liability of defense arise. Absent some identification of what evidence defendants would contend to be responsive to the various elements of their affirmative defenses, those defenses do not appear to be properly brought before the court on the TCPA motion to dismiss. Oh, she is there. Their lawyer is reaching. Boy, they like, we gotta reach for some, Henry. Let's reach for this shit. Let's read that again. Okay? Here we go. Defendants would contend to be responsive to various elements of their affirmative defenses. Those defenses do not appear to be properly brought before the court on the TCPA motion to dismiss. Well, you gotta say that, right? You like, nah, that shit don't. What they brought, that don't hold. Notably, Higa has not filed any exhibit seeking to support her motion to dismiss. Boom, bitch. I'm sorry. Look, it's right here. Higa. Defendant Higa objections to TCPA evidence. It's right here. It's right there. So shout out to Maya Higa, man. You know I love me some Maya Higa. You know I love some Maya Higa. Shout out to Maya Higa, man. But like, hey, she didn't even file nothing. They like, I set the trap and you fell for the trap. You brought that shit up. Notably, Higa has not filed any exhibits seeking to support her motion to dismiss. She said, hold on. She said, hold on, little lady. I got you right here. I filed that shit 3 days after you. Look, speed is life with the Maya Higa emo. Shout out to Maya Higa. Like, hey, Maya Higa, like, yo, no. She like, slow your roll, little sister. Oh man, you gotta love this shit. That makes her story questionable for many reasons. Like, bro, this is in keeping the decisions to the courts which have been held at the TCPA movement, relying upon affirmative defense must conclusively establish that defense essentially under a summary judgment. Like, you know what's crazy? She didn't mention shit about Crazy Slick. She didn't say notably Higa and Rodriguez. She just said notably Higa. She's going after the money people because Crazy Slick don't got no money. You know, I'll just be honest. He don't got no money. Mizkif got money. Higa, she got some money. She on that fucking farm raising them animals and shit. Anyway, simply alleging the affirmative defense does not appear to comport with the TCPA's movement burdens. Now, here's the thing, right? What does Higa has to do with Mizkif? It's just crazy. It's crazy. What is the chat saying? What is the chat saying? Oh, man. How did Adrinah Lee still not addressed how Maya and Crazy Slick somehow have joint liability from the... I don't know. I don't know, man. What do you want me to do, man? This lawyer, he reaching just like her. The issue limitations argue. I mean, do I need to keep reading this? Do y'all want to go to the evidence? Any reasonable person will recognize that having proclaimed a defamatory statement online, there was an unreasonable risk that defamatory statement would be republished at a later time at a wider audience and occur. She wants attorney fees and the cost under the TCPA. Does she list how much she spent in attorney fees? I don't think she does, because I'm pretty sure the attorney is working on a contingency. If a dismissal is awarded to the court, the court is required to award court costs and reasonable attorney fees to the moving party and may choose to additionally award sanctions against the non-moving party. If instead the TCA motion to dismiss is found to be frivolous or filed solely for delay, the court may choose to award court costs and reasonable attorney fees to the respondent party. Okay, court may award reasonable and necessary attorney fees to the prevailing party. Plaintiff would aver that any award of sanctions, which would be discretion of the court, would be inappropriate in light of the added evidence and good faith effort by all parties to address the claims. Evidence. Now, here's all her evidence. You've seen this shit before, right? Prayer. Hold on. Let me go full screen. Some of this stuff ain't edited. So, but we're still going to, like, you know, I don't want to, like, put their lawyers' names and shit out there or anything like that. Adrinah, give me 1 second. I just got to go through something. Like, she tells her story. I put out her sworn statement. That's already out, but there's some other stuff, like some other statements that I don't want to, like, I've shared everything about this case. But there's like other people's stuff I haven't edited. Like here's like her earnings and shit. Like, this is what she made. God damn, she had an $8,000 month. Jesus. I wouldn't even know what I did with an $8,000 month. A $9,000 month? Jesus. You want to know how much I make per month? I've never made more than any of these per month. Oh man. She was getting money.
I got money.
She was getting money. I think you missed it, Adria TV. Or no, you saw it. You were here. Adria TV, you've been here since the beginning, girl. You've been here since the beginning. She's reaching for that bag. I wish I made, look, shit, you and me both saying, like, bro, if I made these numbers, I would have stuff behind me. I would have stuff behind me. Maybe I would have a different microphone. My mother wants to do an interview. But this was her earnings. I mean, my shit, she was making money. I mean, you see it go down though. Her shit went down, but she started streaming less. And that's the argument that she was making, or OTK was making, that she was streaming less. So you making all this money and then you start streaming less. Yeah, it's gonna go down, sweetie. I'm sorry. Now here's all these. I can't even show the messages because I'm pretty sure his phone number is in one of them, and I did not edit this stuff. But where is the Sports Kita stuff? I gotta go real slow. Exhibit Ian. Remember how she was like throw Mizkif stuff out or whatever? She was like throw it out. Let's go to Exhibit Ian and O. Give me a second. Let's go to Ian and O of the whatchamacallit. B. Like, let's see. Is this the one where, yep, his number is clear in day. I can't show the text message with his phone number in there. Even though it's public record, I still wouldn't dox him. Just ethics, man. Ethics. Here, let me see something. Y'all want to see some stuff? I mean, y'all saw this already. Give me a second. All right, that cuts his number out. All right. I mean, y'all saw this already. So this was messages. Hey, sorry about the S with Slick. Like, remember I told you guys, never apologize. Don't ever apologize for shit. I don't care what they got you doing. Never apologize. Because it's just going to get used against you. And it's going to say guilt. Give them a call. Hell no, man. I would never use any information I got publicly to do anything privately. I just wouldn't. It's just so cringe. It's so cringe, if you know what I mean. F Novo. I think everyone is past this. No one wants to talk about it anymore, right? All right, give me a second. I gotta screen some more stuff. I knew his number was coming up again. I'm so happy. I'm like, no. I think his number. I have this shit memorized. Like, can we talk? Like, he kept trying to like give her his number. Slick left. I'm sorry. Like, here's her. Here's her talking to him. This is Mizkif. These are old text messages where she says, I'm very disgusted about what you said on your alt stream. It's very disheartening and disrespectful. Not only to me, but to victims everywhere. The situation should have been handled differently from the beginning. And you know that, but you wanted to save your own ass and didn't take me seriously. Ouch. 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 Oh, Jesus. No one cares anymore. It's true. Yeah, I'm telling you, no one cares. I can tell no one cares. But it's still going on, and for me, like, just as like who I used to be or whatever, you have to see things through. I can't just get off of it because no one cares. It's like, you got to see it through. Give me a second. Let's go to her Sports Kita stuff. Him using Sports Kita, bad. I mean, here's even a text message from Maya Higa. Remember this? This is from Maya Higa. My best friend at the time, and Miz, being my boyfriend, I've been distracted from that group pretty significantly since the breakup, and it's much easier to see your side of things being outside of that Mizkif bubble. The Mizkif bubble. I do want to see the ending, right? You know, it's like watching a dumpster burn. You're like, I just can't take my eyes off of it. Genuinely sorry, too, for your exclusion from things because of all this. I didn't know Slick messaged everyone you hung out with, and that is not okay. Last apology. I'm sorry you've been thrown into something so public and so heavy again because of other people and not on your own accord. I hate that such a sensitive situation had to be dealt with this way, and I hate that I was part of the pressure for you a year ago. I really hope you come out of this happier and that you can thrive here. Like, you think this shit genuine? Probably. Woman to woman. Let's keep it going. We're almost to the Sports Kita stuff. I just don't want to inadvertently dox anybody, or I know it's all public record. People are like, it's public record. Sure. And I'll be like, no. I mean, just because it's public record doesn't mean I have to like broadcast certain things. Like addresses and phone numbers is always a no. Okay, here's Sports Kita. And look who's on the cover. Do you recognize any of your favorite streamers on this cover? Remember, Mizkif Sports Kita, bad. Adrinah Sports Kita, good. Like, oh man, you got to be brave to women are the worst to each other. Yeah. I know y'all are. Behind each other's back, y'all are worse. But to each other's face, y'all like fake. I'm like, oh, hey. Oh, your hair looks good. Who did it? Blah, blah, blah. Anywho, like, so here's one Sports Kita. Lock that effing chat down. XKIF finds Mizkif's moderator calling Adriana Lee a clout chaser. I don't believe she brought this up in her thing. She just said oh yeah, I think he did. Lock that chat down. That was going crazy. I mean, that was just XQC saying it. And then you have to print the whole goddamn article. It's like so crazy. I think he had like some mod doing some crazy stuff. Give me a sec. I gotta go slow. Where we at? Because I didn't go through all 100. Oh, I think this is the message to Seer. You guys seen this before. Hey, I just was informed on what I did, how I acted on Saturday. I just want to apologize if I made you uncomfortable in any way. That was never my intention. All the best. It's all good. There's her. I never was accused of anything. And another Sports Kita thing. Mizkif is under investigation. Entire assault. Damn, he was dropping slurs. Controversy explained, man. Jesus, Miz. What are we doing? He got into a Twitter beef with Trainwreck. Oh man, Trainwreck is wild for being at the Some people say at the center, but other people say he's financing it. I mean, look, man, this shit was big back in the day. I don't know what to tell her. I don't know what to tell her, guys. What do you think? Well, I mean, was it defamation? Come on, man, be honest. Was she defamed? Yes or no? Was she defamed? Yes or no? Just whys or no's in the thing. Whys or no's. Whys or no's. Was she defamed? And that's her whole, this is her whole argument. And then guess what? I think I'll stream Wednesday and I'll get not one person saying yes. Even a woman is saying no. Slick has responded denying ever SA and Adriana. He checked their pulse. What does he say? He says he checked their pulse on her wrist and her neck, not on her chest. He's looking to soup. Oh, he ain't suing shit. He ain't suing nothing. He better. I mean, it is what it is.